morning, everyone. This is Diane Murray at Southern Art Gallery, and this is a subject that I have not explored on my channel, and I thought you might find this helpful. Today we'll be looking at waterproof pens. In watercolor, it's very important that you have if you're trying to be archival with your drawings and your watercolor, it's really important to have a waterproof or what they call water resistant pen. Most pens are not water resistant or waterproof, so it's really important to find a pen that meets your needs. So I thought I just ordered these from Amazon. These are called Stay pigment pens. There are 9 different sizes, and they were only $8.95 on Amazon. So I thought we'd give them a try and see if they're actually waterproof, or you can actually paint over them. These say they're water resistant. They are made in China. So we'll look at those. We're also going to look at some other pens that I have on hand and look at the water solubility of those. The most common pens that a lot of watercolor artists and a lot of sketchers use are micron, and they're made by Sakura. This is a number 8 micron, and as you can see, it has a very tiny, you probably can't see it, but it has a very tiny nib. The 8 is actually fairly large, so that's the micron. These do run out of ink very easily, at least that's been my experience. Here's a number 3, which is even finer. And they are great for sketching. This is a 0.3. That was a 0.08. And they're a good option. I'm not the biggest fan of these felt tip pens. They don't roll smoothly, so I tend to use them sporadically. The second most common waterproof pen out there, I think, is made by Sharpie. Everybody knows about Sharpies. This is an ultra fine tip Sharpie. As you can see, it's very fine. It has a fine tip. This one I really like better than the microns. This is a thicker fine point Sharpie. Not really fine at all, but this is great for really expressive dark lines. This, however, is a Sharpie roller. It's called a roller 0.05. And this I do not think is waterproof, but we will see. So that's the 0.5 Sharpie. I'm going to go ahead and show you this one because this is one of my favorite inks. This is a fountain pen, and the ink that's in the fountain pen is by Parker, and it's called Quink, Q-U-I-N-K ink, and it is water resistant. But the key is you have to let it dry. If you don't let it dry, it's not going to be water resistant. So I'm letting all of these dry actually. Most of these pens, you do have to give them a few minutes to dry. So let's try these pigment liners. Let's see what we've got here. There's a lot of them. So if they do work, it seems to be quite a bargain. There's a brush. There's a 0.5, there's a 0.8, there's a 0.6, a 0.4, 0.5, 0.2, a 0.1, and a 0.3. So we're not going to try all of them, but we will try the brush. The 5. My favorite size is a 0.05 or a 0.08 for 0.8. I guess this is called a 0.8. We'll see. So let's see what we have here. Here's your 0.8. And it flows. It flows smoothly. Now that was the 0.8. This is the 0.05, so that is very tiny. This is a 0.1. This is the brush. So the brush, I don't care for these brush pens. I mean, you can use them for shading and things like that. But they're pretty much just like a Sharpie marker, but a little more flexible because they do actually have a brush tip. So there are the different ones, and now we will give those a minute to dry. Get out our water. And let's see what happens. Okay, we're getting bleeding on our ink that's supposed to be waterproof, so that's failing the test. The rest of them are fine. Well, this one is not, but the brush pen, I probably didn't let that dry long enough, so we'll give it a little bit longer to dry. I'm surprised by this because I thought this was water resistant. But again, maybe I didn't let it sit long enough. Noodler's ink is also supposed to be waterproof. They say do not use India ink in your fountain pens, but India ink is supposed to be waterproof. Yeah, the brush pen is failing. Well, nope. Nope. Okay. So the microns are good. Sharpie's good. This ink failed. The stays are good, except for the brush pen. So there you have it. You need to do these experiments with your supplies before you actually use them in a painting or a sketch, because there's nothing like ruining a sketch that you have put a lot of work into. So anyway, there you have it. Hope you found this helpful.